It's with hope and humility that I accept the endorsement of grassroots conservatives at our party convention. It was a vote for the hope of an affordable, safe, and self-reliant Canada. And it's not just my win, it's a win for the young couple that's scrimping to start a family, the single mothers fighting to pay bills, the soldiers, police, and border guards who beat danger every day to keep us safe. And it's a win for everyone who overcomes hardship and setbacks and never gives up. The message from our convention is that Canadians want to turn hope into results. Our people want to return to a time when a trip to the grocery store was carefree and even fun, when they could have a full stomach, full fridge, and full bank account all at the same time. They want crime-free streets again and a self-reliant military and economy. Now, we're a country in crisis. That's why about a week ago I wrote the Prime Minister offering to fast-track policies for an affordable, safe, self-reliant Canada. I've not heard back, so I'm seeking an urgent meeting with the Prime Minister to discuss how Parliament can quickly reverse the food price crisis, the crime crisis, and the dependency crisis Liberals have caused. I'll bring practical solutions and an openness to hear other ideas and work together to fast-track results. The time for judging the Prime Minister by his words is over. It's time for results. In our meeting, I will remind him that nearly a year after he took office, food costs are now rising twice as fast. In fact, they're rising the fastest in the G7. Now, fortunately, U.S. tariffs do not apply on food bought in Canada, so that's not the cause. All other G7 countries are paying tariffs as well, and their food inflation is much lower than Canada's. It's becoming an emergency here in this country as 2.2 million people line up at food banks, which are running out of supplies. Liberals have reintroduced a Trudeau-era rebate that most Canadians will not receive and that, at most, will give families about $10 a week to pay their $300 weekly grocery bill. It's not much, and it will add another $12 billion of inflationary debt. And it will not reduce grocery prices. Still, passing it quickly might allow some hungry people to survive until we can get Liberals to reverse themselves on the taxes and other costly policies that are driving up food prices and giving us the worst grocery inflation in the G7. My message to Mr. Carney will be this. Sure, let's pass the rebate this week, but let's also eliminate all the hidden taxes and costly government policies within the next 60 days so Canadians can afford nutritious, delicious, and affordable food by Canada Day. If he has better ideas, I'm open to hearing those too. Next, the crime crisis. It's out of control. Liberal laws have released violent offenders into our streets, causing massive spikes in violence. The Prime Minister has introduced a weak, watered-down bill that, while better than nothing, does not scrap Liberal bail. Fast-tracking this bill will allow us to start the conversation about repealing all the Liberal laws that caused the crime crisis in the first place. I'll share my proposals to end bail, parole, probation, and house arrest for anyone who has 3 serious violent convictions. I'll ask the Prime Minister to work with me to fast-track this change. The dependency crisis is also worsening, with more reliance on the U.S. and other countries than is safe or responsible. Canada has had the worst economic growth and investment in the G7 since the Liberals took office, and Bloomberg reports that our economy is now shrinking. The Prime Minister has not yet approved a single pipeline or eliminated a single anti-development law or bureaucracy since getting elected. He's added new agencies and laws, but not got rid of old ones. And we've tried to help. We helped the Prime Minister pass Bill C-5, giving him the power to go around all rules, bureaucracies, and other obstacles to permit projects immediately. 7 months later, he has not used that power to approve a single project of any kind. He has not negotiated a single new trade deal, despite a lot of high-profile meetings and speeches. And he has broken his promise to get free trade between our provinces, who are still separated by many internal obstacles. We don't need more signing ceremonies, announcements, or speeches. We need to fast-track results now. My message to the Prime Minister at our meeting is this. Conservatives renew our offer to help fight U.S. tariffs and get a tariff-free deal with our American counterparts. And let's fast-track a bill to implement free trade deals with the UK and Indonesia that had been negotiated before he took office, but are still not law. But we can't rely on others to take care of us. So let's agree to fast-track the passage of the Canadian Sovereignty Act so we can stand on our own 2 feet. That law would give Canada the fastest permits in the world, greenlight a pipeline to the Pacific, and end the capital gains tax on reinvestments in Canada. I am also open to other ideas that the Prime Minister might like to add to the Sovereignty Act. Other parties can also make suggestions. And I encourage the Prime Minister to introduce the bill himself so that he can take credit for it. In fact, who cares who gets the credit? We don't have time for credit taking or patting ourselves on the back. We need to start getting results for people now. The good news is that if we start now, life can be dirt cheap in Canada because we have the most dirt in which to build homes, grow food, and dig resources. It requires tax cuts, fast permits, and low-cost energy. By getting the government out of the way and unblocking these treasures in our ground, we will make Canada the most affordable, safe, and self-reliant country in the world. And we can deliver a Canada overflowing with hope, opportunity, and optimism. Because while some say that this is as good as it gets, we know the best is yet to come.